If you're forming an LLC in Wisconsin, you've probably already Googled multiple articles or guides and still aren't sure if you're going to do things right. And you're right to be concerned because one wrong move, especially early on, can cost you time, money, or worse, delay your business launch. This video breaks it all down step by step, including the one mistake that can absolutely destroy your privacy. But more on that in a minute. First, let's make sure that you understand if Wisconsin is a good choice to start your LLC. So good news there, Wisconsin is a top choice for starting an LLC thanks to its simple online filing process and affordable fees, just $130 to register your business officially. The state's LLC rules are flexible, making it easy to run things your way, and new LLC owners join a strong community since half of Wisconsin workers are actually employed at small businesses. Plus, there are unique tax credits and startup incentives available as well, especially for certain industries and regions. Now, if you want, straightforward startup requirements, low costs, and a welcoming environment, frankly, Wisconsin stacks up as one of the best places in the country to launch an LLC. So the first step to begin is picking the right LLC name in Wisconsin, which isn't just about creativity, it's the moment that can make or break your launch. And most folks make a simple mistake here that ends up costing them both time and money, but you don't have to fall into the same trap. So let's break down how to choose a name that actually works for you and the state requirements. But I do want to say before we jump in too deep here, here's one thing to keep in mind. So starting your business, it should be exciting, not overwhelming. But forming an LLC on your own, that can get confusing fast with all the legal forms, rules, and easy to miss details. Now, I will walk you through everything in this video, but if any part of this feels confusing, I've got a favorite LLC formation service that makes the whole process super simple and stress-free. It's guided, beginner-friendly, and it only costs $39. So if you hit any bumps along the way in the video, just go ahead and click right up here to get step-by-step help setting up your LLC the easy way. All right, so let's get back to the name, right? So before you can make your LLC official, you need a business name that's unique, memorable, and fully compliant with Wisconsin's rules. Start by brainstorming a few name ideas and then check each one using the Wisconsin Department of Financial Institutions name availability tool, which by the way is linked to below, along with every other resource that I mentioned in this video, to be sure that no one else in the state already has it. A Wisconsin LLC name must include limited liability company, LLC, or an approved abbreviation, and can't use restricted words like bank, attorney, or insurance unless you meet extra requirements. Government terms as well, like FBI or Treasury, those are off limits as well. And here's a quick example. So if you want to start, Dairy Fresh LLC, but someone already owns Dairy Fresh Creamery LLC, you'll need to pick something more distinctive. Now, if you find a name that you love, but you aren't quite ready to do all the paperwork to form your LLC, you can reserve it for up to 120 days for just $15. So take your time on this step. Landing the perfect name, it sets the tone for your whole business journey. That all said, let's move on and see why picking the right registered agent could be your next make or break move. Your Wisconsin LLC needs a registered agent, which is basically a person or a business with a physical Wisconsin address who handles official mail and legal papers for your company. Now, you can act as your own agent to save a few bucks, but your address goes on public record, opening you up to junk mail and, well, your privacy is effectively gone at that point. And keep in mind too that if you ever, miss an important letter like a notice of a lawsuit, it could mean hefty penalties or default judgments against your business if you don't act in time. That's why so many LLC owners prefer professional registered agent services. Now, personally, my preferred provider, which I've used myself, is Northwest Registered Agent. They're known for their strong privacy protections, excellent customer support, and straightforward pricing. If you hire them to help form your LLC, the cost is only $39, which is lower than a lot of competitors as well. And get this, you can use their business address on your public filings, which will keep your home address or business address private and cut down on spam mail and unwanted visitors too. So if you want to check them out, just go ahead and click right up here to learn more. All right, so got your agent locked in? Well, up next, let's examine how to officially file your Wisconsin LLC and make your business legit with the state. So this is where you make your LLC official, which is filing the articles of organization with the Wisconsin Department of Financial Institutions. Most folks do this online for speed, but you can also mail in the forms if you prefer. The state filing fee is $130 online or $170 by mail. In the form, you'll need to provide your LLC's official name, your registered agent's information, and Wisconsin street address, and your business's main office address, which can be outside of Wisconsin, by the way. You'll also list the name and address of each organizer, often yourself, and then choose, whether members or managers will run the LLC. And there's also an option to add, extra details, but most new businesses just skip this unless they have some special rules. Now, take care double checking every detail because errors mean delays and sometimes extra fees to fix it. And once the state approves your filing, your LLC is legal and you'll get confirmation with the state issued file number. That piece of paper there is your proof that your business exists. So with your LLC official, it's time to set ground rules for how your business will run. So next up, we're going to talk about why an operating agreement matters even if Wisconsin doesn't legally require it. Now, to be clear, Wisconsin, they do not require LLCs to have an operating agreement, but making one can save a lot of headaches later. This document basically spells out who owns what, how profits get divided, and how major decisions get made, which is super helpful whether you're solo or have partners. You can find free templates online and use AI tools to create a draft that fits your business. Just add details like, member names, voting rules, and responsibilities. Most banks want to see an operating agreement before they'll even let you open a business account, so don't skip it even if you're a sole owner. Just keep a signed copy with your LLC records overall, and you should be good to go. Now from here, let's talk about getting your EIN so that you can handle taxes and set up business banking. After your LLC is approved, it's time to get an EIN from the IRS. An EIN is a unique ID for your business. You can think of it as like a social security number, but for your company. You'll need one to open a business bank account, to hire employees, manage and run payroll, or get most business licenses. And the best part is it's totally free and you can apply online in about 15 minutes with instant approval and a downloadable confirmation letter. Even if you run a single member LLC, having an EIN, it protects your personal info and makes banking and taxes even easier. Just make sure that you formed your LLC before applying for this because you can't, just jump to this step. It doesn't make sense. It won't work. Now with this step done, your business will be ready for finances, payroll, and building credit. All right, so we're moving along well here. So now let's roll into the next section, which is keeping your Wisconsin LLC compliant all year round, which obviously you need to make sure that you get this right. So to keep your LLC active and in good standing with the state, there are a few ongoing tasks that you just can't skip. So first, every Wisconsin LLC must file an annual report with the Department of Financial Institutions. The deadline is the last day of the quarter in which your LLC was approved. So for example, if you formed your LLC in March, file by March 31st each year after that. Filing fee is just $25 and you can easily handle it online through the Wisconsin One-Stop Business Portal. Now there's no statewide general business license here in Wisconsin, but your city or county might have its own requirements. And some industries like food service, salons, or certain trades, they do need specific occupational licenses. So always check with your local government and the Wisconsin Department of Safety and Professional Services to stay compliant. Now as for taxes, most Wisconsin LLCs are pass-through entities. So owners report profits or losses on their personal state and federal returns, but if your LLC elects corporate taxation, you may owe extra state franchise taxes. And you also need to withhold and remit payroll taxes if you hire employees and collect sales tax if you sell taxable goods or services. So stay on top of these basics here, annual reports, local licenses, and taxes, and your LLC will remain both legal and hassle-free year after year. Now next up, let's do a clear breakdown of every cost that you can expect from forming to maintaining your Wisconsin LLC. All right, so we're going to start out with the startup cost the first year, right? So first, articles of organization that is required, $130 online, one-time fee to officially form your LLC. Then your registered agent service, optional but highly recommended, $39 for your first year with Northwest Registered Agent. Next, your business name reservation. That is optional, $15 for 120 days if you want to secure your name before filing all your paperwork. Business licenses and permits, this ranges from free to $300 depending on your city, county, and industry. So your estimated startup total, you can expect to invest maybe $175 to $300 upfront if you stick with digital filing and free templates for the most part. Now on to your ongoing costs. Your annual report, $25 required every year to stay active. Your registered agent service renewal, $125 per year if you use Northwest Registered Agent to stay compliant. Your business license renewal, typically $10 to $100 depending on your type and location. So your estimated annual total, budget around $160 to $250 per year for compliance and agent services. That does not include your licenses or permits that you need as well. That's just too much of a variable for me to estimate. Now again, to help with all this, I do advise you to use a service like Northwest Registered Agent, which you can click right up here to check out, as they'll help you stay in compliance year after year while you focus on the most important thing, which is running a profitable business. And if you have any questions for me or you're a little bit confused about something, no problem. Drop me a comment below and I'll do my absolute best to help you out as soon as possible. But as always, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.